Yeah, so today we have our fifth live stream of the Compound Club. You can, if you have any questions, you can just chat in the Zoom chat. Yeah, send your question and I will try to answer it. These are the subjects we're gonna talk about. Sorry. These are the subjects we're gonna talk about. So first, we're gonna analyze the Bitcoin chart. Then we're going to hop into the index charts. So the S&P 500, Nasdaq, Euronext, Amsterdam, and of course we're gonna uh, include the Hang Seng index. Then we're gonna move over to the altcoin radar. So which altcoins are interesting and how does the total tree market cap chart looks right now. Upcoming news. So, what are the news events, high impact news events for upcoming week? And yeah, then we're gonna recap my last week trades. So, the trades I took and why I took them. And I always say, like, I'm always looking at my trades, like, what can I improve? And then if you have yeah questions after I did my after I shared my information about the subjects, then you can answer questions, ask for any other subjects, and we'll go over it. So let's jump into the charts. Let's see, where is my... All right, let's jump into the charts. Bitcoin USDT. Let me grab a empty chart. So if you have any questions, I don't know why, but my chat disappeared again, I think. Yeah, I think the chat just disappeared again. So just unmute yourself and you can ask the question. All right. Let's make a clean chart. So first, I always start in the morning. If I'm not in a trade, I always start on the highest time frame. So the daily, or if you're analyzing on Sunday, then I sometimes look at the weekly. But as you can see, yeah, we ended the weekly bullish. So based on the last 3-4 weeks, we ended bullish, green candles. At this moment, we're testing a interesting level, as I shared in previous analysis. So we're trying to break this level, and if we break this level, that means of course we're going to see an all-time high. And yeah, it depends on how many institutions will buy more Bitcoin. It yeah, it could mean that we will reach like a much higher level, but because we have no previous price action above this level, we cannot guess, nor can we make any predictions. You can only look at the market cap. If you look at the market cap, then you can yeah, you can guess a price. So your question was if we can go at least to 120K. I think that's for sure, because if you look at the price right now, it's around 95, 96, and to 120K is 24% only. If we then look at, for example, coin market cap is around, almost 2 billion, if I say this correctly. And if you look at, for example, gold market cap, it's around 21, almost 22 billion. But of course, gold has been here for a long time. But as many institutions show interest in Bitcoin, and also, as you can see at this moment, if you look at news articles in the Netherlands or Bloomberg or whatever, you see no interest in Bitcoin at this moment. So there's no hype in it. So when the hype will follow, of course, of course, of course, institutions will show interest again. So I think 120 is, it's just a matter of time. So if we gain this level, so what I always say, if we have a body close, let me make it. So if we have a body close above this level on a weekly basis, then for sure we'll see. I think 120K is at least. I mean, it's only 24%. No, 21. Yes. So gold market cap is so gold is here for a long time. It's already has been proven, of course, and Bitcoin has been here since 2007 or 2008 or 2009. I'm not sure, but still, like, there are still many regulations. Yeah, many things has to be proven for Bitcoin. As we know, in the Netherlands, we can't even trade futures. So we can't even trade the futures of Bitcoin. We can't even trade derivaten, as we call it. So still many things have to be accepted before we can surpass gold. But maybe in the long term we can, of course, surpass gold. But I think for now it's more important, like, how can we make money of Bitcoin, and surpassing gold is just I think a matter of time also. So okay, back to the analysis. So as I said, I always look at the highest time frame, weekly. So this will take a while, so maybe 2-3 months. But it can also be like what I always say: if we don't gain this level, so nobody close above, that means we can also reject this level. And if we reject this level, I think we can go back to at least this level. But as I said, the last 3-4 weeks has been bullish, so it will not be it will not be I think it's not. I think we're not going to go back to 67K, only if, what I said before, only if Trump or any other high impact news will say, like, there's an upcoming war or there is more import tariffs coming. Then I think we can search for 67K. But otherwise, I mean, the technicals look beautiful. Many institutions are buying Bitcoin. Also, I shared last week something about the BTC ETF inflow. So BlackRock, other institutions are buying a lot of Bitcoin ETFs. So I think that's all bullish news. Um, so I think in a matter, but of course no guarantees. I always say like yeah, trust your own analysis. But based on my analysis and based on my prediction, I think we'll gonna see at least the all-time high in a couple weeks. But first, we need to gain this level. So yeah, back to a lower time frame. As you can see, the daily is already, yeah, we already gained this level, but many people in the crypto space are talking about this level because this was the last drop off. So drop off means yeah, sell off. So this was the point. Many people sold their Bitcoin position because they were predicting we will go lower. So if you want to gain, so if you want to go back to the all-time high or go to, yeah, the level you said, like 120, we first need to gain this level. So if we gain this level on the daily chart, or what I always say, if we gain it on the 4-hour chart, but then 2 times, so 2 body closes above this level, then we'll see a all-time high for sure. So this is the last, remember, this is the last sell off. So you can always see this on the higher time frame and you can always see this on the lower time frame. But yeah, the higher the time frame, the more valid the price action is. So yeah, as many people know, I always trade in ranges. What does that mean? I always look for the range on the higher time frame. That makes yeah, that makes it easier for me to trade. So for example, this is the daily range low and this is the daily range high. So I will tell you, yeah, I will tell it again, even though I do it in all my analysis. On the daily range low and the daily range high, I always tell people, or let's just start from the beginning. So if you see, if you see those candles and you see a strong impulse, so a strong impulse means a lot of bullish price action. That means, like, because institutions or big players can't buy it all at once, like we can just put an order in and it's filled within a second. But institutions, because they play with a lot of money, you have to find a lot of sellers. So they bought here, they maybe bought here, and what happens? Price, yeah, goes sky high. It's searching for a new high, so it's searching for, in this based on the Bitcoin price action, it's searching for the all-time high, and that's why it's more than logic that if we don't, what I said before, what I said before, if we don't gain the level, so no, again, no body, oh, no body close above, you see, only wicks, 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 no body close above, that means we gonna reject. And you can draw the range high and the range low, you can draw it on any time frame. um, Yeah, so based on my good question. So based on my range trading strategy, um, you ask if the wicks are predicting what moves the Bitcoin price action next, right? So based on my range trading strategy, I always tell people this makes a range. So many people ask me before, like, how do you know that this is a range? I always tell, like, this is the daily chart. So every candle is 1 day. But as you can see, a lot of bullish price action. I always tell, like, if you went, for example, before I answer your question, but if you went long here and price goes sky high, it's most likely, if price moves fast from your price point, so like we discussed before, like virtual USDT, if you are long on virtual USDT, for example, your altcoin, your meme coin, and price moves away from the point like real fast, that means after you stepped in, there were a lot of buyers. So that's why price action goes sky high. And if I always tell people, like, if you are in a position that moves away from your price point like real fast, that means you're in a good position. So, for example, if you went long here, it's a good long, right? But if you go long here or here or here, you see price moves slowly from your level. So that means it's more likely that you will get stopped out, because as you can see, here's the first buyers in the range, second buyers, a third buyers, but as you can see, maybe the third buyers already got stopped out. And what happens here? What happens here? See, that's why I always tell people, you always want to be one of the first buyers. Or if you're not the first buyers, I always tell people, before I answer your question, I always tell people, you go long around the range low and you go short around the range high. So it's more likely, if you go short around the range high, it's more likely that you're in a good position. Because as I always tell people, like, never try to trade in this zone. You don't want to trade in the middle, because if you're in the middle, as you can see, even if you go short, you get stopped out. Stopped out. If you go long, well, you get stopped out, because just to show you, let me see. So this is still the daily chart. Maybe you are like, okay, I think we're gonna reach all-time high or whatever. So, but this is not a good trade. Why is it not a good trade? Because 1 out of 8. So that means 10 euro makes you 18 euros. So 8 euros is profit, for example. So you can lose 10 euros and you can make 18 euros. Well, since I know you're doing betting sometimes, 1 out of 8 is bad, right? You don't want to, yeah, it's not much. So what most people do, they want to go for a 1 out of 3. So 10, yeah, at least. So if you do this and you actually don't want to lose much, so maybe you're like, okay, I'll do 1 out of 3. But that's why I say it's becoming less interesting if you want to trade in the middle, because if you're here, see, and this is daily chart, you're more likely to reach your profit level. But if you go long here, yeah, it's gonna suck, because you're gonna get stopped out. I always say like this. Everyone that went long here most likely got stopped out or got not a lot of profit, because just like I showed you, you only make like €8 on the €10 you risked, and you don't want to make €8 if you risked €10. So back to your question about the wicks, about the Bitcoin price action. You look at the wicks. I think the most important thing is like you first got to know like how do I draw a range. So how do I know where do I put this range low and where do I put the range high? That's most important. And then so for example, you zoom out, you go to the 4-hour. Okay, so here you see, okay, we reached the all-time high. Okay, what happened here? Let me erase this. So now you want to look at the last candle. So the wicks, you don't look at the wicks, for example. But then you look at the last candle and you're looking like, okay, so. But always what I say, it's much more important to look at the, if we reach the all-time high, you always want to see a daily gain. So for example, this is a gain, of course, this is a gain on the higher time frame, so on the 4-hour time frame. So you could say, like many people maybe will think like, okay, maybe we'll go because at this point there's much hype because we're on an all-time high. I always tell people like your barber or anyone will talk about Bitcoin at these price levels. So here we gained this level, but I always say if you're reaching a daily range high or a daily range high, you always want to look for at least two body closes on the 4-hour or one daily closes. So here you can see one 4-hour daily close, so that is bullish. But as you can see here, we already many people sold again, and after you see no candle, no body close above. See, no body close above, only wicks touching the range high, the daily range high. So what do you look for? You just look for if you're under. So if you want to predict, if we're gonna go higher or we're gonna go lower, based on the technicals, you always look on you. So I always tell people zoom out. Zoom out. Zoom out means you look at the day at the higher time frames. So or on the weekly or on the daily, and you will look. Did we close above the range high? If we closed above the range high, so for example, if you see this candle above the range high, then yeah, for sure we're gonna go higher. Do you understand? Okay. Okay. So back to breaking down the Bitcoin analysis. So what are we looking for right now? So we have a daily range high, daily range low, daily range high. This is the level we want to gain actually. So many people are looking at this level. So you want to see once again, you want to see a body close above. At this moment, yeah, we are rejecting the level. So what did I say? I always tell people, so this is a order block. I always tell this is like liquidity. So based on what I said before, this is a cookie jar. But we're gonna zoom out a little bit or zoom in a little bit. Let me see. So this is what it's not really clean. And by the way, just to show you something, this is also a range. So let me just show it. That's why I said you can draw a range on every time frame. So this is also a range. See? But it's on the lower time frame. And always after a range, you always see a breakout. So breakout. And this is what happened, I think. Oh, this was Monday. That's why I say I always trade in ranges. So for example, just to show you something. Range. You see breakout. Range, breakout. And you got it everywhere. So also if you want to go short. Yeah, as you can see. So this is for a short scenario. That's why I always say, range high, you want to go short. Range low, you want to go long. So what are we going to test right now? Let me see. So actually you don't want to come back in this range, but yeah, so this is what I mean with the cookie jar. This is what I showed in my analysis last week. So what do I mean with the cookie jar? So here are still some cookies left in the bin or in the jar or in the koektrommel. And what do I mean with this is because this price, I always say you look at the last red candle. So if you download the tradingview.com, this is the red candle, but I made it white. What I always tell people, you look at the last red candle and you always draw your zones on the higher time frame. So this is still the higher time frame. This is the 1 hour time frame. And then if price, so for example, if price moves in this area, you will look for longs or shorts. But based on this price action, you will look for longs. So I always tell people, you make a plan. So you start up your computer in the morning, you make a plan, you draw your zones. So these are my zones. You draw your zones based on the higher time frame, and then when you put your alert, so here you put your alert, you get a notification on your phone, and then you will look for a trade. So at this moment, these are, yeah, this is unfortunate, but I think maybe we can go back to this level, but it's very ugly. And the reason why I say it's very ugly, because here you have a range, and we beautifully broke out of this range, as you can see. So you will form another range. You see another range. But what you don't want to see is go back to the original range, because that means we can test this level again, and we can go lower again, of course. So that's why I say, like, this is the range low, this is the range high, and now you will look for, can we, so for example, do we hold this level or do we lose this level? So if we lose this level, yeah, for sure. So just to give you an example, this is the whole cookie jar. Cookie jar, cookie jar. So here, now all cookies has been eaten. So what you can do is go long here. But you don't go long just based on these candles. You first wait, what many people say, you will first look for a gain. So you want to see a gain on the lower time frame. So on the lower time frame, you will want to see a gain. So for example, this is the last drop off. And now what you want to see is this. Go back to the cookie jar. So maybe we left some cookies around here after. You can, yeah, you can see that maybe in Saturday evening.
But let's say this, what you are drawing will happen.
Mm-hmm.
Where would you take your long? Because I already would, but it's really it's a great risk, as I can see now.
Yeah,
So
why?
you make this drawing,
Mm-hmm.
and if it would go like a drawing, where would you take your long?
Yeah, so I would take my long, not now. And why not now? Because at this moment, this is what people call, but it is based on the lower time frame. This is what you call a a falling knife. So if you go long right now, you go long based on nothing, right? Because the price, so because if you go long right now, you can also say, okay, I will go long here, I will go long here, but you will get stopped out, you go get stopped out, stopped out, stopped out. So that's why I always tell people, you wait for the price to gain. So this is a drop off, so this is the last drop off. You can also say this, but for example, this is the last drop off. So let's make it more clear. So people went short, okay? People went short. And you want to take out the shorts. So people went short, people went short, people went short again, people went short, people went short. As you can see, all these people that are in shorts, they're still in the position. They're still in the position. You see, no one got taken out yet. So first, what you want to see, to take out some shorts. Okay, we take out the shorts, but I always tell people you don't buy on a green candle. So if you're gain here, you will look back at this area, which is not there yet right now. But you first want to gain this area, and then I will look for a long around here. I will look for a long around here. I will put my stop loss beneath this level, and then I will go long at least to the range high. So this is the range high again, because I want to take out all the shorts, right? That's why I always tell people, this is where you have the best setup, because we gained on the lower time frame, we gained a level, but you never buy on the gain. Um, Here, so if you went long right now, maybe you get stopped out because you don't know where the price is going to fall to, right?
But that is what has happened to me. I thought it was a good time to go long because Bitcoin was go up. It went down a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought this is it. It can't go any lower. So I put my long, and yeah, I got headshotted, liquidated.
Yeah, but that's why I always tell people, like, for example, we are in a WhatsApp group chat. I always tell people, like, you don't want to you don't want to predict, or yeah, of course you are kind of predicting, but you don't want to think about like, okay, so Bitcoin has gone up for a while, so maybe now Bitcoin is going down a little bit. Maybe I will go long, but uh, you don't want to like predict without looking at the chart. You want to know like what does. That's why I always tell people, like, just to show you. That's why I always tell people, based on this, so just the charts, no lines, no nothing. You want to know what is. That's why I always tell people like that want to learn to trade, what's happening here, because you have to understand like what is happening here. Why is price going down and why is price going up? And many people are like, yeah, I think today Bitcoin will go up. I think we are. I see some people saying like, okay, I think Bitcoin can go lower, but Bitcoin can, for example, let me see. People always say, yeah, Bitcoin can't go lower. So based on the last all-time high, people say, nah, Bitcoin can't go lower. Okay, I will go long, liquidate it. Go long, liquidate it. I will go long, liquidate it. And here, liquidate it, liquidate it. And what happens? That's why I always tell, like, this is the range. So for example, this is the range low. This is the range, let me see. This is the range high. Here people are like, I don't know. I think Bitcoin will go much lower. I think I'm not interested in Bitcoin. I think I will go do something else. Maybe do some other job or whatever. But as you can see, range daily range low, daily range high. You don't want to look for longs here. You want to look for longs around this area. Because if you're long around this area, of course you can get stopped out. But as you can see, risk to reward from 1 out of 7. So you can lose 10 euros and make 70 euros. But as higher you go, you will see the risk and reward will go much lower. And you don't, and of course you don't know this. So for example, you don't know about this. So you only want to predict what you can plan. So you will look, okay, here people, just as I showed you, people went short, people went short, people went short, people went short. They still didn't get taken out. So you want to aim to take them out. Because I always say, like, one people makes money and the other people lose money. So people went. So they went short, short, short. What happens? Okay, so for example, back to my cookie thing. And here I am. I'm hungry, looking for cookies. Eating all these cookies, these get all taken out, and I make money. And the thing is, I have if I'm buying here, I'm not risking a lot. Because I think everyone would sign if they only lose 10 euros to make 70 euros, for example. So, for example, everyone won't sign for it. But that's why I say you don't want to trade around the mid range, because if you trade around the mid range, you see you can get taken out a lot of times. So, for example, if I'm here, if I'm going long here, I will hate myself because I got taken out here. So now my cookie jar is empty. And what happens, which you can't predict, but what happens, price moves up. And that's where most people get angry, because if price moves up and I'm not in the position anymore, I was like, damn, but I but if I maybe did like this, So for example, back to my position. So I got taken out here, and people say like, "Damn, I got taken out. My stop loss got hit. Maybe for the next time I should put my stop loss around here and do like this." But as you can see, 1 out of 5, you would have not signed for this. So that's why I always tell people like, you want to know what you're doing. You don't want to just move your stop loss around. You just want to know like, where can I still get taken out? So you want to know like, what are these candles all telling me? What are these candles are all telling me? And that's why sometimes I hate seeing something in some chats, because people say like, I think we can go lower. I think we can go higher. I think we'll go just to this area. I think we just go to some other area. But I mean like, most of the times you don't know. I don't know why is my price like this? But because we have no price action above this range high, let me just refresh this. Yeah, because we have no price action around, I don't know why my price is like this. But because we have no price action above the range high, you don't want to predict, because no one knows what's going to happen here. No one knows. You just want to know. You just want to see um, what is the chart telling me. That's why I always tell people like, stop thinking, or do less thinking, and just learn what does naked price action. So naked price action. What does this mean? Um, so back to, oops, back to what I was saying. Yeah, so this is what we're talking about, and that's why I always tell you, first want to see a gain. So first you want to see a gain before you go long, because you need confirmation before you can go long. If you go long right now, of course you can go long right now, and maybe price will go to this point, but most of the time you always see it like, most of the time price always comes down. Price goes, so this is inverted scale, so a chart upside down. Price always comes down. Price always comes down. Price always comes down. And that's why I say you have to have a plan before you can move into our entry. So what am I looking right now? So what am I looking for right now? Yeah, so this is what I'm looking for right now to go long. I wouldn't go short, to be honest, right now. And why wouldn't I go short? Because there's too many people already short. So for me to take a short right now is just based on emotion. It's not based on my plan. Because what I say, always go short on the range high, and don't go short on the range low. What am I looking for right now? Yeah, I think only these areas. So if we lose this range, I think we go back to well, here you got some lower time frame price, but it's not that valid, because this is a lower time frame, and you want to liquidate as many people as you can. So yeah, so that's what I'm looking at right now. Do you have any questions about the Bitcoin USD teacher? Okay, let's move to different subject. Index charts. What to check on the higher time frame? Why can't I go to the... All right. Let's see. Index price charts. Indexes. Let me make a screen of this one. Okay, let's see. Indices. So what's happening with the indices? I only look at the weekly and the daily levels. So as you can see, weekly range low, weekly range high. Yeah, nothing special, I think. Looks bullish. So Nasdaq looks bullish. Nothing much to say. I think if we reject this level, we're going to let me see what I sharing right now. So if we're gonna reject this level, I think we're going to the daily order block. So this is a fair value gap, what many people say, and that means that price moves fast from this level. So this is what we can expect if there's more bad news coming out, and otherwise if we gain this on the daily, then we go to the range high. S&P 500, most of the time it's almost the same or somehow likely the same. Also daily order block, we want to gain this level on the indice S&P 500 index. Same story. And then we'll go to the Hang Seng index. Still ending bullish. So the Hong Kong index still looking bullish, and I always look at the Alibaba price. Well, as you can see, this is what I mean. So we made a gain. So this is the range. Yeah, let's make it like this. So this is the range. If you look at the inverted scale, so this is the range. Price made a gain, comes back to this area, So I think, yeah, as you can see, we took out the liquidity, and we're moving up higher. And what level are we going to test right now? I think we're going to test, but you always have to look, when you're looking at the indices, you always want to look for the fundamentals also. So this is an imbalance level, or this is where the cookie jar is. And yeah, I think we can make at least a gain of 50%, around 50% on Alibaba, if there's no yeah, bad news coming out for the Chinese market. So this looks good. Let me share this also. Alibaba. Okay.
Are there more Chinese stocks who have great potential, like we got on the Nasdaq?
What I always do, because I'm not really familiar, I just use ChatGPT. So most popular or let's say like popular but the thing is with Chinese stocks or other stocks, it's not only based on technicals, right? So for example, if you invest in Bitcoin, I mean, like, Bitcoin is very volatile, is a risk on asset, of course. But for example, so these are some Chinese stocks. Also, are many of them are in the Hang Seng index. But the thing is, with stocks, for example, I can look at let me see why. Yeah, so for example, I will look at. Let me see if I know the ticker. I think this is it. Let me see. Show me stock just to check. Yeah. Yes. So this is the stock, Xiaomi. But the thing is, it already went up very much. Well, this is based on the monthly, by the way. So weekly. This is since beginning of the month. It's already a little bit late, you know. I think Xiaomi is something with electronics. So electronic sector. Out of my mind. And this is what I always say. Like, now, you don't want to buy Xiaomi just based on Hang Seng index is bullish. A Chinese Hong Kong stock index is bullish. You see Alibaba is bullish, but the thing is, you have to dive into the fundamentals. So what is this company doing? what are the competitors of Xiaomi, and how are they yeah, what makes Xiaomi unique. And you also want to benchmark Xiaomi, so you want to see like, okay, based on this chart, um, what are other competitors doing, like how are they uh, so what place is Xiaomi in their market. So for example, if Xiaomi is in the electronics market, but they do something with phones, I think, I don't know what they all do, but then you want to see at their competitors, like how are they profiting, and how is this company profiting. So that's why it's hard. It's a little bit more hard to invest in stocks if you don't if you're just doing it based on technicals. So you always want to look at the financial situation of this stock. Like, what is the value of Xiaomi? Like, is it already priced too high, or is it priced too low? And if it's not priced too high, like, what do you think it can reach to? But you have to know how to benchmark the Xiaomi, and you have to know how to look at the financial situation of Xiaomi. Um, so we can do one more because I want to see something also. Beat.
Are you staying on the Chinese stuff? Because on the screen I see a few different stocks, and the first one is Palantir,
Ah,
and that's an interesting one. But you're on the Chinese right now, so maybe maybe
yeah. So Palantir. I already explained the Nasdaq and the S&P 500 and the Hang Seng index. So they're all bullish. So stock market is bullish at this moment. The only thing we're looking at right now is we have, or not we, but in the US you have a person that can say whatever the fuck he wants at this moment, Donald Trump, and that's why big investors have to look at the market like a lot of times these days, because as you see, if Trump says Monday, okay, import tariffs are going up, import tariffs are going down, you will see like actually Trump is regulating or is moving the market. So if import tariffs go up, you will see Chinese stock market go down immediately. And yeah, that's a bit annoying these days, because actually you just want to have a healthy financial market, so you don't have to look at the charts all the time. So back to Palantir. As you know, we are invested in that, and yeah, it's moving. It's moving quite well. So based on only this month, 80%. That's crazy. And see what I said? I draw range low, range high, based on technicals. You want to go long here, you want to go short here. Um, but yeah, Palantir, just a beautiful company, going to hold it for much longer. AI company, I don't know what they do completely, but I know they're unique in the AI market. Mm, so not much to say about it, to be honest. Let me see. I don't think it's good for people to invest right now. But yeah, if you're planning to hold it for 5 or 10 years, for the people that are watching, I think yeah, it could still be interesting. But I always tell people like, maybe do like this. So if you want to invest, you want to invest around here or around here, or are you just too late? Yeah.
But I think it's also a good thing because if you anticipate right, you can move quickly. So when the trade wars start again, and he says something about it, you know things will go down, but you also know that at some point he will say another thing that it will go up. I think if you look at those moments and you trade in those movements, you can make a lot of profit. Or am I?
Nah, it's true, but actually, like, because most of the people they invest in stocks, they don't trade stocks. So you want to look at the higher time frame. So of course, when Trump said something about the import tariffs, for example, you see this happening. We're trending down. Every stock, every index, boom, went down, went down. Hang Seng index went down. You see? So these are moments you can, of course, profit from it. But um, the thing is, actually, everyone strives for a healthy financial market, and also and for sure if you are investing in stocks, because you don't want, if you're investing, you don't want to look at the charts every day. But also, what many people say, they're investing, they just have a plan and they will stick to the plan for like many years. Um, so the thing is, of course, it's not bad, but the thing is also what can happen. The most extreme scenario is if you have such a president as Trump that just want to show power and to yeah, don't give a fuck about what other people think. It's not healthy for the financial market. So what happens is that most of the individual American people, they at this moment they have to pay a lot of they have to pay a lot for their groceries. They have to pay a lot for everything in America. So what happens if that yeah, takes too long, for example, and the import tariffs only go up more high, it will impact us also in the Netherlands. So inflation will rise, rents will go up, everything will go up. And what Ray Dalio always says, like, one people their spending is another people their income. So that will mean like the income will decrease. And if income will decrease, that means we can buy less for our money. And if we can buy less for our money, that means also like it means like our financial situation as an individual, um, yeah, it's we can spend less. So that means we can also enjoy less for the money we make. So of course it's it's you can profit from it, but you don't want to see it to take too long. So yeah, but yeah, um, of course, if you bought like 2 or 1.5 months ago, yeah, you made a lot of money based on whatever you bought. To be honest, if you bought in the Hang Seng index, if you bought in this S&P 500 or companies in the Nasdaq, so you can. I think the bull market, like I said for Bitcoin also, I think the bull market hasn't begun yet, because if we gain on the daily or the weekly levels, and also if stock indexes going to gain, I think we're gonna see yeah, some fucking beautiful money. So yeah, that's it for Bitcoin indices. And now I will look at the total tree market cap, which I hate, to be honest. And the reason why I hate it, because as I said before, I think I was talking about this like 2 weeks ago. I want I want to see us gain this level. So if we gain this level, this is what I say always to people. I always tell people like this: if we gain this level, we will see an altcoin rally. So we will see altcoin market or altcoin season, how people call it. But if we don't gain this level, and somehow we don't have we don't have enough buyers, if we don't gain this level, there's no altcoin season, there's nothing happening. So many people are speculating because Bitcoin is going up, Bitcoin is going up, so maybe I need to buy some other coins, so altcoins. But there's no guarantee for altcoins to rise again. But if you see a gain above this level, so a daily gain at least, I want to see a daily gain, or what I always tell people, I want to see a 4 hour gain, but a 4 hour gain 2 times. What I said before, I always want to see 2 times this candle above this mid range, because most of the times if you see 2 times a 4 hour candle above this range, that also means like in the next 16 hours you will see a daily candle above this level. But since we still can't gain this level, which has been going on for more than uh, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Yeah, it sucks. So what am I looking for if we gain this level, or what I always tell people, like if we come close to this level? I was looking at dot. I was already I took a trade on dot, but I already took my profit. So I took my profit around here. I think I took some profit around here. The reason why is because the total tree market cap is not showing what I wanted to show. That's why I say you always wait for confirmation. You see, you always wait for confirmation. So based on what I showed you before, yeah, oops, you always wait for confirmation. See, wait for confirmation. You don't go long here, and why you don't go long? Because as you can see, the daily market cap falling knife, and people say, no, I think we can go lower. I think we can go lower. But maybe if we don't gain this level, we can definitely go lower or lower. So what I tell people in a live stream before, for sure, if we're gonna go lower, so for example, Trump releases a lot of bad news, are we gonna go to this level? Even if I don't believe in the altcoin market, I will still definitely buy at this level. So I will buy at least the top 10 altcoins at this area. But this means like 300 billion dollar cash will flow out of the altcoin market, like because now we are at 813 and here at 584. So yeah, what I can say about the altcoins market is just have patience. You know, you want to anticipate on the right moment. And that's why I always tell people, like, show up for the live stream. You know, if you want to profit from this market, you have to be on the market. You have to be looking at the charts, because when you're a barber, or when anyone else that doesn't know shit about crypto talks about crypto, I think when people talk about crypto, we are already here. At least we're already here. And if we're here, yeah, most people already bought, you know. So just wait for the daily gain, and if you wait for the daily gain, you will make money. So my trades. Yeah, so these are my trades. I'm already long since 25 of April, I think. I'm already long since 25 of April. 28th of April, I bought another, I bought some more. So why did I buy on this level? Just to show you. This is the range. Range low, range high. And then I will look at the so I took some profits already. I think I took some profits around here because we made a breakout. And I also entered here, but I already scaled out of this position, I think. So at this moment, I'm still, by the way, this is no trade, but I was just looking at the scenario. So this is the cookie jar, for example. Cookie jar still filled with cookies. So still some cookies in this area. I hope we don't reach this level because I will get stopped out. But at this moment, I'm still in profit, but I'm looking for at least this level to reach or the all-time high. But yeah, I think it will take some time. And at this moment, the price is not looking too good, to be honest. But we're at the range low, so as long as we don't lose this level, I think I will hold my position. Yeah, maybe. It depends. Like what am I doing? Because as I showed you before, I don't know if I still have it or what charts. So this is the range. This is the range 1 hour. This is the range 4 hour. So these are some cookies that are still in the jar, because as you can see, price didn't come here yet. My stop loss is around here, I think. Yeah, 91.6. But the thing is, we still have like, but this is lower time frame. This is 15-minute time frame. So here, I will look at this, and I will look. I will just look at this, I think. So if we lose this area, we will go to, I think, to this price level. So this is the range high. But if we come back into the range high, so for example, this happens, we touch the range high, but we can't gain it again, then we'll for sure go down. Because we enter from the one range to the other range, and we make a rejection, so no body close above it, we will definitely go lower to search for less longs. But the thing is, I think price action is beautiful around here, because as you can see, let me show you something. Oops. So people went long here. For example, people went long. People went long. But some people, like, for example, people that went long here or went long here. So people that went long here around this area, they already got stopped out. because price went back, So I love retest, 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 and my stop loss is around this zone. But the thing is, we don't make a gain around here. So you always want to see like where's liquidity, and I think liquidity is here, because it would be weird, in my opinion, to let all these people profit. So everyone that went short profits. That's weird, because that's why I always say, like, you want to, if you're in a position, for example, you want to see this. So you step in, boom, we go higher. But you don't want to see grinding price action, because if you see grinding price action, most of the time it get taken out. So for example, if you see grinding price action, for example, I'm going to show you something. Grinding price action, grinding price action, grinding price action. Everyone was speculating like we go down. But this is what I mean. Grinding price action, boom, gets taken out for the real move. You see? For the real move. And this is always like, I don't know if I can show you some more. Let me see. Yeah, for example. So this is short, right? Grinding price action, grinding price action, grinding price action gets taken out for the real move. So for example, if you see this, if you see, so today, tomorrow, next week, if you see price going fast to this level, be alert on the charts, because most of the time this is when some people get bullish if it goes fast to this price. But most of the time it makes place for this. So boom, wicks everyone out. So everyone get liquidated for the real move. What I wanted to show. Yeah, so for example, people go long, go long, go long, go long, because they think, okay, we reach. What happens? Boom, gets taken out. Everyone get taken out. So all these people got taken out. And what happens? They get angry, because some people that understand price action, boom, that's the real move. Let me just. That's why many people always get angry, because they don't understand what's happening. Like, all these people get taken out, and then the real move starts. All these people get taken out, and then the real move starts. See, I'm in this position, and many people get taken out, and I make profit. But it's not like it's not just luck. It's just because I understand what price action is showing me. I'm not just thinking like, okay, I need to be in a position. I just understand what price action is showing me. Let me just make a screenshot. I think so. This is it for now. Not much to say, to be honest. Or maybe I can just, let me see. What we discussed. Let's see. So back to my chart. What could I have done better? Well, this one was beautiful, just as I showed. At this one, yeah, we're still in it. I'm not very happy about this position, even though it's in profit, because I think I still can get liquidated, or like my stop loss can get hit. The reason why is because the range starts here, and this is in the middle of the range. So, for example, let me see. Or is it not in the middle of the range? Well, it's not really in the middle of the range. It's not really in the middle of the range, to be honest. But I know for a fact that many people are already long here. Well, we just see what happens, to be honest. We will just see what happens. I mean, we're still in profit right now. And yeah, what could I improve? What could I improve? I could improve like buy here. So if I'm already looking at a position, just buy here, because here the cookie jars gets taken out a little bit, but still some cookies left. But yeah, I think this is what I can say about my position. So any questions? Loud and clear. All right. That's great. Yeah, and that's why I always tell people. So if people gonna watch this back, Jeffrey, Sydney, please don't just go based on what you feel, but learn naked price action. Like, what does this mean? Like, if you like, what do these candles mean? Because I can make a beautiful drawing about this, but this means nothing. Like, I draw this, but it only means something because I say it means something. But actually, you just have to know, like, based on this, why does price moves like this? And if you understand this, then it becomes much more easy. Because for sure, for sure. Mhm. Uh, it's not. I think everyone takes the same amount of risk, but what you can say is like, I don't take a lot of positions, so I don't trade a lot. Like, I trade only maybe like maybe three times a week, and yeah, I'm not a scalper, but I will definitely make a scalp account, because many people on Instagram, for example, they ask me to make a scalp account. So I will go over this, but I always tell people, don't go to this price action, because it's a lot of noise, and all these candles, it's hard to understand. But just to show you something, let me see if I have a clean chart. So for example, this is a range, but it's hard to understand, but this is a range of 5 minutes. So range low, range high, reaches the range high, but doesn't make a gain. So what can you do? You can take a short here, but you can also search for the 1 minute time frame. Let me go on inverted scale. And that's what I always tell people, like, okay, we made a so this is a cookie jar, for example, but it's hard to understand this. Let me see. So you wait for a gain, maybe the 15 seconds. So what you're gonna look for, if you look at the, so for example, this is more scalping, but if you want to look for a trade around here, you see here. So this is the inverted scale, so chart upside down. You see we make a gain, but it's a loss, like, because it's inverted scale. And then you will look for, okay, where can price move to? And what happens here, but this is hard to see. So for example, this is the wall, just to show you something. This is the wall cookie jar. But I always, like I just told you before, you don't buy on the, I don't know what's happening. Let me just say that. So this is the wall cookie jar. Okay, cookie jar gets taken out, but you don't see a gain yet, okay? So no gain yet. So one cookie has been eaten. Okay, no gain yet. So you don't enter right here. You don't go short, because this is, as I showed, this is inverted scale. So gain. Now you want the other cookie to be eaten. Other cookie gets eaten, and you go short. You put your stop loss around this area, and some people trade like this. But the thing is, because if you scalp, you take a lot of positions on the day. And if you take a lot of positions on the day, that means it can get emotional. It can get to you. So it, because you take a lot of positions, you will get a lot of stop. So sometimes you get hit, your stop loss get hit, and sometimes you take profit get hit. And what always happens when people make profit, they get happy, they get euphoria, and when people their stop loss get hit, they get sad. So you have to train yourself to to handle that. And that's the hardest thing with scalping. But it's basically the same thing. It's also range trading. Like, for example, I just draw a, so I don't think I take less risk to answer your question, but it's more like it gives me more it makes me feel better to take less positions than to take much positions. Because if I take less positions, so if I take more positions, for example, I gonna do scalping. I think upcoming week I will make an account and do scalping and share everything with everyone. It means you have to like look at the chart. Like, for example, this is all happening in 15 seconds. 15 seconds, every candle is 15 seconds. That's a lot of stress. Like, you have to be on the charts to take the position. Because if you blink for 15 seconds, or you're just gonna grab your cappuccino, yeah, it most likely mean your position is already gone. So that's what I can say about it. But I will make a scalp account upcoming week. So that's it. Geen probleem, grap.